Hello, Rashmi. Very good evening.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
How are you?
Fine, sir.
Okay, first of all, many congratulations for your wonderful achievement.
Thank you so much, sir. Uh, I'm still in shock. It's really hard to believe. Actually, I've never expected this will happen so early. It's only because every one in my whoever comes to join my journey, the best. I mean, like I've selected you for the interview, for preparation of the interview. I think that is also a big, a good decision to prepare for the interview, and that's the way it went on. And
Yeah, definitely. This is the age where people are still thinking of studying, doing MA and PhD. You are going to be an assistant professor. So that's really a great achievement. At a so early age, you have achieved the dream of your life.
yes,
The people, when they start studying from class 1, they have some dream that we have to achieve something in their life.
yes,
But you might also not have ever expected that you will achieve this dream
yes,
at such
sir.
an early
Yes, sir.
stage.
Actually, from graduation onwards, I was math student till my 12th class. I was a science student. So I've never thought that my life will turn out in this way. Like it's unexpected. But when I when I took admission for the graduation, when I my first teacher, she was Das ma'am, Professor Das ma'am, and I don't know, but something hits me hard. Like I wanted to be like her. That position is quite exciting, and she was very calm and very pure soul. So I wanted to be like her. So it started from there only, and so on some, I think on sub subconscious level, it started from there only.
Yeah, definitely. The teachers are icons and ideals of
Yes,
the
sir.
students.
Yes, sir.
And there are many teachers who inspire many students to shape their life according to themselves.
Yes, sir.
So I'm very sure the way you were inspired by your dear Professor Das ma'am, similar way you are going to inspire thousands of girls.
I hope so, sir. I'll try my best for that.
Okay, so I'll start this interaction. This interaction is mainly to inspire the girls like you throughout the country who still are a skeptic about their destiny. Like in India, we are living in a patriarchal society, and the girls are made to believe, like a feminist criticism that we are studying, the females are always inferior to the male. So this result has proven that females are really intelligent than the male members. The number of female candidates are obviously more than
Yes,
the male candidates.
yes, sir. Actually, yes, yes, sir. Actually, I'm so blessed to have a family who never came in my way. Wherever I wanted to go, they just let me fly. So I'm blessed to have. But I've seen many people. There are so many friends of mine who are still struggling with that patriarchal society. So I hope that there will be more female because literature. I think it's a subject that female can connect more. They're more emotional if we talk about the ecofeminism things. So I think and females, it's not about this particular sector. There are so many sectors where the females are excelling, and it's a great thing. And in this patriarchal society is surely going to shatter somehow.
Yes, change their aptitude,
Yes.
definitely. So the first thing that I would like to ask you to introduce yourself about your family background, your academic background, and some of the challenges that you have faced in your life, so that the other girls will be able to connect with you.
Sir, if I talk about my family, as I said, my family, when it comes to study, yeah, of course, we have some foundations as other girls have. But when it comes to studies, we are always free to choose our subject. We always free. There is no financial crisis as such. If there is financial crisis in the house, I'm so blessed to have a family who never think of doing limited financial things in the studies. they can compromise in other things, but when it comes to our study, they never compromise in that. So I want everyone to become like my family, my parents, like they are. And the biggest challenge of my life is this year 2021, the second wave of the corona, where I lost my father. He was everything to me. Like, it was like backbone. I was bended, he gone. So when the result came, actually that moment was happiest moment, but at the same time it was tragic also, because as every words of my father is coming to like flashback, and all my family members are crying for us. Like, everyone is crying in my family. So I think I'm so blessed to have a father like him. And I know that he'll be proud of me, and I'll give much more reason in my life to be proud.
Can you share some of those words?
Like, he always, like, whenever I feel low, whenever I feel like, okay, fine, I'm not able to do it, papa. And in the first attempt, like, when I'm not able to clear my net in the first attempt, and the second attempt also, I went on in appearing, I tried it my first attempt, and in the second attempt also I'm not able to clear my net. So I was like, I may not be able to crack this. I may not be able to meet for this. So he said that you are best. He always like keep me pushing. He always keep me pushing for the best. He always wanted me to do my best. And whenever I just wanted, there is this spark in his eyes whenever I've achieved something like small achievement. I got good marks in my MA. So he was so happy, so proud of me. I was so missing that spark, that I wanted to see that eyes of my father when I achieved this. So
Great.
that's how actually he was. If I'll talk about him, I'll go on talking about him the whole session. So that's
I
how.
wish every father can adopt that aptitude.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because there are many fathers who are think their girls are a burden. I have many friends of mine who talk like this, but for my we are like, we are not like burden of our father. He always he never. In fact, we have studied in such high class schools, like our schooling was very good. Uh, he spent so much money in our schooling, and it's it's very hard for. He was just a teacher of the primary school. It's not a great income uh, that is coming. That's why we went to that kind of schools. But it's all that he wanted us. He never discriminated between the boys and the girls. I have one brother, and he was I don't know, but he I somewhere feel that he was more attached with us than my brother, if I talk about. So if every father of the country can have this kind of attitude, I think girls would excel, would do much more better than the boys are
I wish that many girls will be showing your videos to their father
doing.
and definitely inspiring them.
Yes,
Okay, can you share about your academic
yes, I've
applications?
been a student of a science side, and but maths is not something I'm very good at. So I tried to. I worked hard in maths, but never got whatever I worked for. So I dropped this maths, and I went to graduation. In the graduation also, there are economic subject I took, and I was more focused on that subject. And English is something is like, वो तो मुझे आती है. This kind of attitude was mine towards English. And then I went to post graduation, and therefore my marks in the graduation was not very good. It was 59 point something. Then I went to post graduation, and then I reminded myself that now you have to get above 60%, because otherwise you may not be eligible for the net criteria, because there may be several new rules are coming. So at least you must have the 60%. And I worked hard for 60%. And I got 79 point something. I was shocked, like, wow, I first time I worked hard for something and I got this much. It was the biggest change in my life. And from there only, I've always achieved. If I talk about marks, I've always been 80%. In my B.Ed also, I got 83%. So this is how. And then in 2019, I've completed my post graduation. In 2020, I've cleared NET, and with that, I have done my B.Ed also. And in 21, I applied for the PGT, and I was so hopeful for that I may crack it. But this tragedy happens and everything not went my way. So I thought that this is something. This is the last chance I would get to have my job in this year. So I worked hard for it, and it worked. But that one thing I wanted to share, that uh, I've never expected this to happen. I just wanted to give my best so that I do not have any regret that I have not given my best. That's why I am not qualified. So to make myself protected from the feeling of the regret, I have done this much of hard work. I've not expected anything, but when I got the result, it was so positive. Then I thought that if I could manage to get 25 or 26, I that was the expected marks. That was I thought that I would get. I think I have got in the interview 25 to 26 marks because I went to general category, and in my written I have only 63 questions. I don't think I think I've got between 24 to 27. That's why I went to general category. And interview, when it came to interview, I was like, what to do in that? Earlier, I was confident that I may qualify because when it comes to teaching and expressing myself, I think I'm good at it and I'll manage it. But my first mock was horrible. First mock with you was horrible, and I got I think 15 or 16 in that 16 marks. I thought, okay, now 16 is not going to work. I have to work hard. So and in the second mock, I improved a lot. As you said, I got 22 from 15 to 22. I went to. So I worked hard for it, and actually, it was your guidance. Actually, I was not aware of that what to study. There's so many oceans of the syllabus. Like if we talk about our English syllabus is so big. So I when you guided me, I got a direction for on which way I need to work. So I worked accordingly, and then finally came
Great,
up with
great.
flying.
This is really very inspirational story of your journey from the study to the selection of an assistant professor. The most important thing that touched my heart is that sensational moment when your result was declared. I want some more elaboration about that moment when you checked your result.
Actually, I was talking to my friend. I was on the upstairs, and my younger sister, she came to me suddenly and said that, Didi, you got selected. I was shocked first, and then I came down, and it's like I just wanted to be with my father. I I don't know, but it was a major missing. I was missing him so much, and my mother was crying somewhere. I was hugging my mother, and we both are crying, and then everything. My mother is also actually. My father used to uh, spend all his money on our studies. सारा पैसा खर्च कर देते थे. We don't have even our house in the Allahabad, and we have been living in Allahabad since I was in class 8. But and primary school teacher gets a good amount of money. They can afford a house at least. But he spent all his money in our study. So uh, whenever my mother says to my father like, अब कुछ पैसा बचाना चाहिए, कुछ पैसा बचाना जरूरी है, बच्चों की शादी करनी होगी, कैसे होगा। तो माय फादर सेड सब हमारी एनएससी है, हम बच्चे हमारे एनएससी है, जब ये टूटेंगे तो देखना कितने पैसे आएंगे। तो that was
Wow.
that was that's the way he was, and I'm so proud of him. Whatever I am is because of him, and I'm so blessed. Actually, my father always wanted to be in a joint family. So we don't have money when he this happened. We don't have any money, but we have our family with us. My uncle, my aunt, everyone is so supporting because my father always tried to understand my family, and he always spent it like it's not about our study. He never cares for money actually. तो उन्होंने बहुत ही अच्छे से एक फैमिली, ऐसे जॉइंट फैमिली, देयर सो लव इन आवर फैमिली that we all are so supportive to each other. Or I think he always said that अगर मुझे कुछ हो जाता तो भी हमारे बच्चे they will not went orphan, they will अनाथ नहीं होंगे हमारे बच्चे. He always said like this, and he was so true. It was so true, sir. It was really true.
Okay, great. Very nice. Very heart-touching scene. Even I become emotional to listen this. Okay, Rashmi, can you share those moments of interview at Allahabad?
Yes, sir. Actually, if I talk about honestly, I was nervous. But as you said, we practiced a lot, and that worked there. Our practice, our this mock session, and this worked a lot for the backup. And I went there in the interview, and they said they asked some introduction, given my introduction, and they asked me to teach something. So I took ecofeminism because I was confident in that. So just I just explained the word ecofeminism, and they said, okay, fine. It's approximately they have not given me time for 2 minutes to teach, and I've just explained it, and they said, okay, fine, sit down, and they started asking questions from ecofeminism, and then they went to eco-criticism. And actually eco-criticism, I have read this topic in my MA. So whatever they asked, I was able to manage like every question. And then uh, when the board member got to know that okay, fine, this area is good, so he shifted me to the next board member. She was female, and he asked me questions from okay, you have got 79% in your MA in your post graduation. So what are the subjects you have studied? So that was tricky question because I find that whatever I'm going to speak, she will ask question from there only. So whatever the area I'm sure I'm confident about, I started giving the name like I started taking American literature, British literature, gender studies, African literature. So she got interested in gender studies, and I'm so lucky that she got interested in that because gender studies is like it's always been my favorite. I always confused between gender studies and ecofeminism, what to take. So she started question about okay, what are the writers that are favorite in the gender studies. So I that was also a favorite question of mine because Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie have prepared her as my favorite writer, and she is the best writer for the gender studies. So given her name and given the name of Judith Butler also, then she asked questions. What are the texts? Why you like her? This kind of question, and then she asked me, okay, fine, you also taken the name of African literature. So have you heard of the Toni Morrison? So I was not very aware of the biography of the Toni Morrison, but I know I have read the text "Beloved" of Toni Morrison. I've read it thoroughly, like I've read the text of "Beloved." So whatever I find in the text, I try to collaborate with the writer's journey. So that was also I somehow managed. And then again, male member got interested in me, and again he asked me questions like, okay, fine. What is the difference between gender and sex? Can you differentiate? So again, a smile came to my face because that was my favorite question. And as I smiled, he got to know that I'm aware of it. And he said, "You must be knowing about this." This is the way. And earlier I was nervous, but then I started enjoying the session. And they then when this happened, this they know that fine, she's good at these portions. They shifted me to the next member, and she asked me circumlocution. Circumlocution is a very very normal topic, and but she asked me if you have to explain it to your student, how you are going to explain it. So I was stuck because I have learned, I have kind of memorized the circumlocution with the song of the Bollywood, where it goes on like the hero said, "झटक के जुल्फ जब तुम बादलों से बारिशें आजाद करती हो, अच्छी लगती हो," and the girl says कि जरा short में बतलाओ ना, सीधे point पे आओ ना. So I was like, I can't explain this with this particular example. So I was stuck there, and they have not given me more time to think. They said, okay, fine, you can. It's nice talking to you, Rashmi. So it went like this. But actually, I can give this example to my student, but the board members, it was a formal meeting. I can't give example of a Bollywood song. I thought before I've not given the example. So that's the way it went.
Okay, very nice, very inspirational and very informative. Okay, that's great. Now, last question that I would like to ask you that during the journey of your success, since your childhood, there are many people who have contributed to shape your knowledge, your personality, your everything. So, I would like to ask you to take all those names here. That's the right moment to celebrate those names.
Yes, sir. So if I talk about my family, the whole family, the whole package, from grandmother to grandfather to my uncle, aunt, father, mother, everyone is inspirational to me. And they have belong to a family where everyone, most of them are teachers. So I think teaching is somewhere in my genes, or I don't know, but that's how they. And if I talk about inspiration, they are, whoever in my family is teacher. They are so honest. They are like, they are doing their duty with utmost hard work, with utmost happiness, and with devotion. And that's what very inspiring, and that's what I always look for when I'll become a teacher. I'll be that kind of honest and show that kind of honesty in my work. And I can connect with you, sir, because I can see that honesty in you. I can see that hard work. It's not about buttering. I'm not buttering. I'll not get anything, but I can connect with you because I see that I've been have done coaching with many in my net also. I've done coaching, but they're very commercial kind of teachers. Like they, but you look different to me somehow. So that's the way it is. And uh, when I went to 12th class, there was this teacher of English, Aradhana ma'am. She was so inspiring. She is also responsible to move me to that direction, to take art in after being a student of science side. So uh, she was so good in teaching. She was, again, that hits me, that the thing that hits me of the teachers is their honesty. She was so honest towards her duty. And then in the graduation, there are so many professors, Das ma'am, Raju sir, there's so many professors. They shaped me like this, whatever I am. And then I met you, sir, and now you are also added in the list. So that's the way, sir. They are the people.
Okay. Okay. So first of all, thank you so much for this wonderful compliment to me. And also, I salute all these names that you have taken that have played a major role in the contributor. They have contributed a lot.
And my friends also, sir. My friend circle,
Yes.
it's full of elite people. Like I have every friends of mine, they're so determined that they always inspire. Like I have one friend of mine, Priya Singh. She's so inspiring. He is the superwoman of our group. He can manage
Great,
everything. So that's the way. That's it.
great. Very nice. And thank you so much for this interaction and spreading your inspirational story with all the girls that they are going to see your video, and definitely they will get a lot of knowledge and inspiration. And I wish you are going to be a game changer when you become an assistant professor, and you'll be inspiring many people.
Thank you. I'll try my best.
Surely. Okay. I hope we will be connected, and definitely I wish to meet you somewhere when you become a professor.
Definitely, sir. I'll be connected with you because it's very easy. It's very easy for me to understand what kind of people are around me. So I can feel that positive vibes with you. I'll always be connected with
Great. Thank you so much, Rashmi.